Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about sea urchins, the sea animal that's near coral reefs. Please remember to like and subscribe. Alright, fact 1. No brain or heart. The sea urchin is a very interesting animal. You could tell by their spiky outside and a core inside. And even though they're animals, they actually do not have any brain or heart. The sea urchin innards are really just of the digestive system and their reproductive systems. There's really not much else in the sea urchin. So it's a very interesting animal. And it's not what you think in terms of having eyes and ears and so forth. In fact, it only has two openings. A mouth to feed on, and then an anus to excrete waste. That's really all it is. So as you can see, this animal is quite interesting, and a lot of its body is really just the spikes and the 2 feet that it uses to move. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 2. No difference between male and female. Similar to other animals or biological beings in our world, where there's no brain or heart or very limited internal organs, like plants, trees, flowers, and so forth, there's actually no difference between a male and a female sea urchin. They both look exactly the same and have the same exact body, obviously, except that their reproductive system contains different type of cells that can reproduce when mated with male and female together. But other than that, sea urchin male and female ones are completely indistinguishable. You really can't tell, and there's no extra features or extra gonads or any kind of physiological feature that you can see, okay, this is a female or sea urchin or a male sea urchin. And so for humans, there's no way to tell if you're eating a male or female sea urchin. Alright, let's get to the next fact. Fact 3. Longevity. Another very interesting part about sea urchins is their ability to live for a very long time. Scientists used to think that sea urchins lived only maybe 5-7 years or 10 years. But recent discoveries have shown that sea urchins actually could live up to 100 years. Can you imagine that sea urchins currently on our seabeds near coral reefs actually have been there for hundreds of years? And especially a subspecies called the Canadian red sea urchin can live up to 200 years. So as you can see, these animals have very long lives. And to be honest, I think it makes total sense. Because the animal lacks complex organs. It's really just an eating, pooping animal and then reproduces. That's it. It doesn't actually have any complex emotions or complex thoughts process, and it's just an animal that feeds on the seabed and poops out things. So I think for these type of animals, they should live in a long life if not disturbed, because there's not much that's taking up too much energy or resources to sustain them. If the sea urchins can find a coral reef where there's abundant food, they should be able to just live there for a long time. And so I think it shouldn't be a surprise that these animals have incredibly long lives and longevity. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 4. Some have poison spikes. The typical sea urchin, as you saw in the video, all have very long spiky outsides in order to deter predators from eating them, including humans. And so some subspecies of the sea urchin have evolved so that their spikes are poisonous. That means getting stabbed by one of the spikes is not longer just a painful annoyance or wound. They can actually insert poison into your bloodstreams. And so it's very critical for you to identify if the sea urchin is poisonous or not, because you don't want to be unwittingly getting poked, spike through your skin, and deliver their poison into your body. Most sea urchins, however, are not poisonous, as most sea urchins, when you step on them or touch them inadvertently and get pricked through, you really only suffer a wound, a flesh wound. Alright, let's get into the next and final fact. Crawl with 2 feet. When you see the sea urchins on the seabed and you see them stationary, you may think that the sea urchins do not actually move. But in reality, they are mobile. They're able to move with very small tube feet that is embedded within their spikes. It's very hard to see it because you would need to really examine the sea urchin at the bottom to see the 2 feet. But they need this 2 feet to move about because these animals do feed on the bottom of the seabed on algae or other plant life, sometimes even other animals. And so when divers look at sea urchin, they're typically stationary and not moving, but actually they can move, and they do move in order to find a better spot to feed on or a better place to reproduce or to settle on. So despite the fact that they look stationary, there are tiny 2 feet on the bottom that allows them to move their mouth to other parts of the seabed or other parts of the coral reef to get more food. And so sea urchins is not just a simple animal where it stays in one spot the whole time, but rather move about on the seafloor and on the coral reefs to eat and find potential mates to reproduce to produce more sea urchins. Alright, that's it for my video today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.